Greetings. This is a video response for the lady Gravedancer on the subject of karma. She asked what our thoughts were, and I find it a really interesting subject, and I also wish to enter her giveaway, so I thought I would do a quick video on karma. I think traditionally karma the word applies to the Hindu or Buddhist religion, and I have a definition. I don't want to misquote myself. It is defined in that realm as the sum of a person's actions in this and previous states of existence, viewed as deciding their fate in future existences. In other words, everything that a person does in this life and things they have done in past lives will determine what place they have in future lives. Obviously has to do with reincarnation. And I know that's not what the lady Gravedancer had in mind when she asked us to talk about karma. Maybe she did. I'm not sure. While I don't know about my views on reincarnation, that's a whole subject for another video. I do think that I believe to an extent in what she is referring to as karma, as traditionally used, the word is traditionally used within the pagan community. When people will say, karma will get you, they don't mean something that's going to happen in future existences. I think most people are talking about what's going to happen now in this existence. So that's what I'm going to address. Okay? This is not unique. The idea of karma is not unique to either Hindu or Buddhist faiths. In Christian faith, which I was raised a Christian, the idea of man reaping what he sows is a very common thread throughout the Bible. I think every religion has some kind of a payback. Our society has a payback, don't we? You know, you do something bad and that will happen to you. You commit a crime and you're going to go to jail. In some societies, you steal an apple and I'm going to cut off your hand. Okay, so it's cause and effect. Within the Wiccan community, I believe there's something called the law of return, which states, and I'm not Wiccan, I do follow much of the Wiccan belief system, but I don't want to have anybody tell me that I'm misquoting the Wicca law. I think it's the law of return. What you do affects what happens to you. If you do good, good is going to happen to you. If you do evil, that will happen to you. Sometimes a multiplier is put into this, so hence we get the threefold law. If you do something, if you put out harm, seek to harm another, you will receive that back threefold, or you may receive it back tenfold, depending. For the most part, I don't really follow that. I do not necessarily follow the threefold tenet at all. I do believe, yes, what you do will affect your life, of course. So if you are doing harm, I do believe that there will be some kind of a payback for that. I do believe there will be some kind of a payback, so for good. But I have two difficulties with the simplistic view of what you do, you get back. For two reasons. There's two sort of objections that I have. The first has to do with the whole idea of karma and how this system operates how it operates within the universe. Is there some like Santa Claus type figure sitting in the universe with a list checking it? When you do naughty things, you get a check mark in the naughty column, and when you do nice things, you get a check mark in the nice column. That's sort of a childish kind of a view to me, very simplistic. Although I do have to say, at 62 years old, I still sort of believe in Santa Claus, so maybe that's a little That's a little odd coming from me. The second most important reason that I have a problem with that reasoning is that we all know that bad things do indeed happen to good people. We all know good people. We all know good people that bad things happen to. It seemingly happened to them a lot. I don't believe that somebody's child acquires a serious illness just because that person maybe cheated on their taxes, or your car breaks down on the freeway because you forgot your grandmother's birthday. That to me is very simplistic. I don't think karma operates on a single basis, a single action basis. I don't think even though, yes, for every action there is an equal or reaction. Yes, I do believe in science. I'm a scientist, so I do believe that, but I don't think it is quite that simplistic. Sometimes things just happen. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I do, though, believe in karma. Let's call it, for the purposes of conversation, when I'm referring to karma now, I'm referring to this kind of law of return idea, not the reincarnation idea of the Buddhists or Hinduists. But I will say, I believe that like attracts like, and positive or negative thoughts or actions bring about positive or negative results. And that's sort of what we do, I think, when we cast spells, isn't it? We state what we want, we believe in our ability to get it, and then we receive what we ask for. That's the whole purpose of doing a spell, okay? We're attracting what it is that we want, that law of attraction. Law of attraction. We just had a bit of ugliness within the pagan community here on YouTube, and I suspect that this may have been in Lady Gravedancer's mind when she did pose the question about karma. I don't wish to rehash any of that. I wasn't involved in it, and I know all of us are relieved that it is apparently over, and the people involved have moved on. So I really don't want to bring it up. It's not a subject to bring up, but for one reason. In the course of the events, one person did a response, in a response to what was happening, mentioned that someone involved in the situation, that their looks had actually changed because of all the negativity that she was carrying around inside of her. And this is exactly what I feel when I'm talking about karma. This is what I believe in when I'm talking about karma. I believe that this is the law of attraction. When you are doing, I can't help but to think. I can't help but to think about my daughter, who is a personal trainer. When I think of the law of attraction, the phrase, you are what you eat, comes to mind. And that's what it reminded me when this person made that comment about one of the involved parties in the conflict, that her actual looks had changed with all the negativity that she was putting out in her life. And what I feel about that is that karma to me is like a layer, is something. When you're doing harm, if you are setting upon to do harm to people all the time, this negativity builds up inside you. You produce this almost a sticky layer. To me, it's a sticky layer that you wear. And the more harm that you do, the thicker your sticky layer becomes. And you start to attract negative things to you. Eventually, that layer becomes thick enough. It's like a chemical reaction. If you've taken chemistry classes in school, which I think most of us have, just the idea of a chemical bond holding together the atoms of a compound by the interaction of the electrons. How they attract, and they form a bond that can't even be broken, right? It's the same kind of thing with karma to me. This sticky layer, you're just it's like negative attracting negative. Your negative thoughts. I say to my husband as he's driving down the street, cursing the red lights. Like I'm saying, you're asking for the red lights, right? You're calling the red lights, do you, with this negative reaction? I'm really not serious, I don't think, but isn't it so? If you're focusing in on the red lights, you're going to get more red lights. It's this sticky layer. And now we're all involved in this, even those of us, nobody is without harm, and nobody goes throughout the day without harm or negativity. We all do things that we really probably should not do. We all are a combination of good and bad, and what it is I think the more good and you do, then some of those ugly bits sort of fall off. You're a little more resistant to the sticky badness that's going to come on you. I don't know if it's true, but I think if you continue to make choices that harm others, you definitely have created a reality of negativity. You've really created a very thick layer that is going to absorb all the other negativity around you eventually. I think it has to. What happens to us in a future life? I don't know. I don't think we have the luxury of waiting to the future life to see. That's where I sort of disagree with the whole concept of karma happening in the future life. I don't think it's that simplistic. I think what we do here and now affects the here and now. The people that are around affects us very much. Everybody wakes up with these feelings from time to time. What did I do to deserve this? And I think that's more of a reaction to trying to put a reason on everything that happens to you. And I don't think there is a reason for some things. Some things just happen randomly to you. I think that's the way life is. If we had a checklist we could follow so that we would ensure that nothing bad ever happened to us, that we would certainly do that. But one thing is to help keep that stickiness off of you. You can feel it. Everybody feels it. If you've had this period of time in your life, we've all had a period of time in our life when we just are negative about everything. We complain about everything. We're angry about everything. And one day we wake up and say, what am I angry about? Why am I so angry? What happened to me that I became so angry? This is what happened to you. Your stickiness built up. You created the stickiness. You created that layer from all of that negativity you were putting out. And you're suffering under the weight of it. It's like you just want to shed that layer. And what's the easiest way to shed the layer? You all know it. Do something good. Do something good for someone else. Play some music that you love. You know the tricks, right? And you can almost feel those sticky bits fall off of you. Right? Donate some time to an animal shelter. Give a basket of food to the food bank. There's lots of ways. Run in a marathon, to raise money for cancer awareness. Your sticky bits start to fall off. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know. At my age, I change my mind all the time. I think everybody does, but I really change my mind, I think, more than others at this age, because I remember so much more, and I try to make sense of it. And sometimes we just have to wonder. I think part of the fun of life is wondering. But anyway, I was very interested. Thank you, Lady Gravedancer. Thank you, Tequila, for doing this, asking this question, because this was sort of fun to think about. And I'm anxious to see other people's responses. I hope some other of the community respond. So in the meantime, I am Rebecca. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Lady Gravedancer, for the giveaway. Your very generous giveaway. And good luck to everybody who's entered. And meanwhile, I wish you blessings.